Laptops, cars, I like both of them. Ha ha! We've got a Lamborghini. Oh, wow. Automobile Lamborghini. Maybe we should say laptopolini Lamborghini. Do you ever just want all of the reliability of an Italian sports car and Razer laptops combined? In here, we have the new Razer Blade 16 Lamborghini edition. There's only 150 of these in the world. We've got one of them here, and it's actually quite a good laptop, I think. We haven't looked at it yet. Before we get into this, the fuel. In here we have a 330 watt power adapter, which is gobs and gobs going through their proprietary connector here, which you expect because you cannot do that much over USB-C, even with their new fancy power delivery stuff. Let's just unbox it. Come out, get out of there. There we go, there we go. Oh, do we have any fancy Lamborghini notes in here? Come on, stickers, yep. I'll put some on my Golf, which is essentially a Lamborghini. Oh, there we go. Yep, hell yeah. You also have a little cloth. Lamborghini startup menu. All right, the main attraction here. This thing is heavy. There's a lot of laptop in here, and you most certainly can feel it. It is very much just a gimmick, but that does look pretty sick, I do have to say. You have this thing in a coffee shop, people are gonna be like, damn. I was really scared for a second there that this was just a sticker with how it sort of feels, but it is actually anodized right on there, and that is why it looks so dang good. Look at that. It is one heck of a fingerprint magnet though. Oh, this thing must be close to or over 5 pounds. I'm gonna guess 5.5. Yep, nailed it. That translates to 2.5 kilograms for those of you in all of the rest of the world. Oh, this thing might be pretty thick and pretty heavy, but at the same time, it has heaps of I/O. Full-size SD card reader, love to see that. Thunderbolt 4 USB Type A, HDMI 2.1 around the other side, 3.5 millimeter headphone microphone combo jack. This one right here is USB Type C with 100 watt power delivery, not Thunderbolt 4, but I will accept it. 2 USB Type A's and our power in for the full 330 watts from our charger. Okay, this has been some pretty exceptional fingerprintage, and Jake was saying that that my hands are just disgusting. I just want to show you. Here's like a different laptop. Wow, it doesn't look terrible. One finger might not. Ugh, you can do it. Look at the size of this trackpad. This thing's freaking enormous. Also, the build quality looks really, really good. Again, something that they have been really good for in, well, forever pretty much. I've got our CNC milled aluminum chassis. This thing is heckin' stiff. We can get a tiny bit of deflection if we're like really pushing into it, but yeah, this thing feels awesome. How is it so disgusting already? All right, let's start it up after I tell you about our sponsor, Gcore. Thank you, Gcore, for sponsoring today's video. Gcore provides public and private cloud services. Gcore is currently advancing AI infrastructure offering both IPUs and GPUs. Their virtual machines start at 3.2 euros per month with over 25 locations around the world. Gcore offers a range of managed platform services, including managed Kubernetes with support for bare metal nodes and managed logging, as well as function as a service. With Gcore, get low latency, high performance, the latest hardware, production level SLA, and with great pricing. To learn more, check out Gcore at the link down below. So this comes with a really fancy display. It is both 4K and 1080p. At 4K, it's 120 Hertz, and then at 1080p, it's 240. You need to restart it to switch between those, but it is also mini LED, and there's just something about it. Like this area in the center where we've got Mr. Lambo is really, really bright. Like it's blowing out the camera right now. But then our icons on the left are dark. And I'm curious, if I take like the Steam logo and put it in here, yeah, now it's bright and it like kind of makes sense. I move it over here, yeah, that looks good. But then when I put it off here in the dark area, it's like a really dark icon again, and it's kind of strange. The background's nice. We have a really nice photo or generated thing of a Lamborghini. Yeah, so the stuff that you get that's Lamborghini about this is the actually quite cool little anodized thing on the back and a custom startup and wallpaper. There it is, V10 noise. Coming from that Asus Bape collab, where they like actually clearly put in a lot of effort, this is not as much effort. Like we said, it's incredibly bright. They advertise 1,000 nits, we got 1,300. But the dimming's a bit strange, so you can kind of see on this window, actually I'm not totally sure that you can see, but this window isn't uniform brightness, kind of near the edges of it, where the dimming zones are sort of petering out, it gets less bright. And then if I quickly move this around, I don't know if you'll be able to actually see it, but it's like lagging with when it becomes bright. Yeah, and you can see like this handbrake test folder will be way brighter for a moment after the great big white screen's been over. Like, look at that. What? Advanced display 240 hertz, and we're seeing those weird artifacts. I don't think I'm getting any of the benefit of the extreme pixel response time because like, is it extreme pixel response time if the backlight's really slow? All right, native display mode, we're changing it to 4K. Why is this so grainy? What is happening? Is this broken? Do you see that? Like all of the yeah, all of the graininess in the background. Is that supposed to be there? Oh, disgusting. Look at the halo around the cursor now. Oh yeah, something must be broken. This like actually looks like it's broken. We're gonna have to like update the firmware and stuff and see if we can somehow save this, but this is not a usable laptop right now. Okay, we're gonna try restarting again and see if maybe it's happy then. Oh, it still looks awful. Well, the 4K mode looks like ass, so we're going back to 1080p or 1200p, but same thing. Let's restart it again. What's up with the scaling? Well, nope. Oh my God. This thing's a gong show. Oh wow, okay, this is really cool. This is really cool. I never looked at the bottom. Those heat sinks are orange. The fans are orange. There's a little Lamborghini logo. That's awesome. It's making my experience here really worth it. We're back at 1080p, 240 hertz because 4K just completely broke. So now it's kind of just bad instead of god awful. I know that I've already been annoyed quite a few times, but look at how dim the mouse is. And when I move it, it just completely disappears. Yeah, you can't see it when it's in movement. The performance though is very good in theory. In here we have a 13th gen Intel Core i9-13950HX. That is 24 cores and 32 logical processes in a freaking laptop. It goes up to 5.5 gigahertz, so that's fast. We also have 32 gigabytes of 5600 mega transfer per second RAM. For storage, we have a 2 terabyte Samsung drive, Intel Wi-Fi 6E, and of course, our RTX 4090 graphics, which is a 4080, but the mobile version. All right, how are our inputs and outputs? First of all, not a touchscreen, that's too bad. Our trackpad though is exceptional. As you expect, glass topped, really big, really great, just kind of what you expect from Razer. And also what you expect from Razer is not an amazing keyboard. It's not bad. Like not bad. You can see here that the key stability, wait, that one's actually pretty good. That one's not as good. So that's the problem. They aren't consistent. So as you can see, S really likes moving. D is a lot stiffer, unless you hit it kind of like on the side right here. But anyway, they're all different, which is the problem that we're having. So it's going to be really hard to get used to your keyboard and really nice and fast because you just don't quite know what's gonna be on the go. The travel is decent enough and it's like pretty snappy, but at the same time, the inconsistencies make this, what, like a B plus maybe, for being generous? The reason why it's getting a B plus and not lower is because it is geared towards gamers. So I will let them go away with that kind of like really quick, snappy feel because you can really like, you can really hit it fast. Just, it's not very satisfying to type on. Labs testing went and measured this display. All right, for color accuracy, this gets a 6.14 average delta E and a max of 9.76. It does do pretty good in HDR with an 85% coverage of BT 2020. None of that makes up for the fact that it smears so bad. Look at that lady. She's just right across the display. That said though, the performance is really quite good. Like, we're in Cyberpunk right now, and we're looking at 100 frames per second on Ultra. GPU is at 70 degrees, CPU is at 83, but both of those are still quite acceptable for how fast this thing is running right now. This is at 1080p. We did test it at 4K, and it does slow down a bit, but I'm sure that you can just adjust the settings a tiny bit, and it will be very, very happy. Same with F1 2023. Real fast one, Total War Warhammer, also really quite fast. Performance of this thing is really quite good, and it is pretty loud. Some pro gamer moves. Okay. Razer speakers traditionally are quite good in their laptops, and given how much of the space it's taking up on the deck here, I do expect them to be quite good. Okay. We've got the THX Spatial Audio Certification, which Razer gives out themselves, but it does sound really good. Like, this sounds nice and wide. It sounds like the laptop's about this big. It's quite impressive. That's good. That's really good. You don't need to buy a Bluetooth speaker with this. I'm talking really loud, because these speakers are loud. Looking at the display though, it is really vibrant. Like, we did see that in our color checker a little bit, but man, all of the colors are super overdone. All right, how is this webcam? In here we get a 1080p webcam that does have Windows Hello facial recognition. Love to see it, guys. Moving around here, it does definitely struggle with exposure, but if you leave it there for a little bit, it does seem to be able to figure itself out. Actually, no. Well, there we go, yeah, so after a little while, it will figure itself out. Not the best webcam that I've ever seen, but it also isn't the worst. Oh, damn. That looks cool. In here we have an absolutely massive vapor chamber. It goes all the way up in here. We've got the orange fins, the orange fans. Are these metal fans? No, they're plastic, but that's fine. Also in here, we have SODIMM memory. Love to see it. Not only is it fast, but you can upgrade it yourself. Extra points there, Razer. We also have a 95.2 watt hour battery. That isn't quite as large as the 99.9. That is the largest that you could put into a laptop, but it's pretty darn close. Now, if you treat it nicely, you'll be able to get just over 5 hours of battery life with this thing in the 4K mode. Surprisingly, the 1080p 240 hertz mode is actually a little bit less at 4.7 hours. That said though, there is an enormous amount of power in this laptop, so if you want to, you can kill it really fast. In our battery stress test, we were only able to get 1.2 hours, which is pretty expected for something of this performance class. Also in here, we have our Wi-Fi module. I didn't notice this before, but we have an SSD down here, and on top of it, an open SSD slot, which is just awesome. So the upgradability of this thing is actually really quite good. So the Razer Blade 16 Lamborghini edition. What a horrible thing. It is $5,000, and with that display, man, don't get it. Just run away, run the opposite direction. That said though, there was a lot to like here. For the amount of performance that you get, the battery life is pretty good, the upgradability is exceptional, and it was actually able to tame the i9 and 4090 that it has in here, which is incredibly impressive for how big and just generally overall quite nice this thing is. So if you're looking at getting a Razer Blade 16, if you go with their Quad HD 240 hertz display, I think you'll actually have really quite a good time, but just completely skip the dual mode display. Man, what an awful piece of junk. What's not awful though is you. Huge thanks for watching this video. Hit like, get subscribed, and just have a great old day. See you later.